and we're ready to go. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to our weekly podcast for the show we have been sharing with you every week, CHRYSALIS, the family adventures. Today we must completely restart from square zero due to the death of one of our primary actors. But we will acknowledge the life that has been taken from us both literally and in terms of this show as we begin episode 65, Come to the Front of the Line, starting from scratch. In a searing restart to this intense family drama, at times dramedy, the family's elder, grandpa, and professor, Mike Stivic, is gunned down by an extremist assassin, and now the family must pick up the pieces as they mourn his passing, coming together in their grief before they face the challenge of starting over from scratch. Please be aware that due to the death of the great Rob Reiner, who we had counted on to play the part of Mike Stivic in this series of already 63 and a half episodes, we can no longer promote any of those episodes, even writing Mike out of them. No, instead we are going to honor the life of Mike, and by extension Rob, in this reboot, which I am proud to say will launch the series anew, acknowledging that tragic rupture while not allowing it to stop the show in any way. To do so would be a concession to evil. Internal, the television studio, night. I, Mark Ginsburg, am standing stage middle facing you. Me. It is with great sadness that I have to bury 7 years of my labor to create a great show with the imprint of the show that inspired it. All in the Family. However, the insidious aspect of humanity has intervened, making the work of producing the show now impossible. But I am not a quitter, and I don't want any of you to be either. Killing a person is one of the most horrific forms of quitting, and killing a TV show into which so much heart and labor has been poured for so many years is another one. But I refuse to raise the white flag and let that happen. We will begin this week with episode 65 of CHRYSALIS, the Family Adventures, subtitled, Come to the Front of the Line and Take the Microphone, starting from scratch. The microphone is a reference to something Charlie Kirk would say at his rallies to those who disagreed with him. Charlie Kirk was a strong believer in his views, but he condemned violence. Rob Reiner, who played Michael Stivic on All in the Family, where he vehemently spoke out when his father-in-law Archie Bunker bought his son a toy gun, was also a strong political activist who never condoned violence. It is in honor of him that I have chosen to open my new series, CHRYSALIS, the Family Adventures, with episode 65. Theme music, display, caption, and now the family adventure continues. Fade in. Internal, supermarket, day. POV, pushing a shopping cart down an aisle, viewing the shelves and grabbing an item here and there. A young man, masked up noticeably so that very little of his face is visible, appears ahead in the aisle. Young man, frightening tension in his fairly loud voice. Professor Stivic! The cart stops. Young man, sounding very disturbed. At last, this is for you, bleeding heart, alien-loving Jew. Very loud shot. Reality fades into blur, into total darkness. Internal, the same supermarket, day. The young man is running fast toward the door. Store alarm sounds. Chaos seems to ensue. Young cashier, keep him contained. I sounded the alarm. We also need an ambulance. People are stunned between frozen and running in the opposite direction. The man gets to the exit but cannot escape. He spies a little girl a few feet away. He grabs her. She panics. The young man, facing staff members nearby. Let me out or I'll shoot her. A staff member. Sir. The young man. I'm serious. You don't want to mess with me. Same staff member. Sir, can we talk? Young cashier. The police will be here any second. The young man holds his gun against the girl's head, right side. She exudes fear and tears. The young man. All right. 1, 2. As the people who spoke start to shake and the young cashier seems to push a button in response to the man's threat, suddenly, till now unseen, a rather large man appears behind the man and grabs him from behind with enough force to loosen the gun out of his hand, pulls him back while it drops, and then gets him down and they scuffle. The girl gets away. The young man tries unsuccessfully to grab his gun. The girl runs away quickly. The large man is on top of the young man, preventing him from moving. Young man yelling, "You'll be sorry. I've got the Lord on my side." As they struggle, large man, "I'm afraid the time for that is gone. You've turned your back on the Lord." Sound of police and ambulance sirens. Doors open, and the police and medics behind them enter. The police have their guns pointed. Large man holding the young man down. "Here you go," pointing toward the aisles. Now the injured man is back there. Young cashier. "So glad you could get here. It was getting very frightening." The medics rush toward the downed man. He is somewhat large on his stomach with short white hair. One of the medics. "Hey, wait a minute. That looks like Professor Stivic from UC Irvine. Oh my God, I don't believe my eyes." The other medics are rushing to feel a pulse and search for any injuries. A second medic. Hand on man's wrist. No, it's too late. He got in a good several shots, it appears. Time to call the coroner. Several police assemble around the dead man. They search for identification on his person. Police officer. "Yeah, you got it right. This is Professor Michael Stivic, 78 years of age, in otherwise healthy condition, residing at 2104 Catalina Avenue with his family. Time of death, 2:53 p.m. External, suburban one-family house. Day. A modest California home with a silver gray white plain motif and terracotta roof. Internal, the house, living room, day. A family is standing. Behind them are a couple of armchairs surrounding a small table. The chair on the right, a large worn reclining chair, as well as a couch on the right side. Giselle, a middle-aged woman with a sturdy frame, slightly large and well-proportioned, is talking with her children. Josh, a tall young man, slightly geeky-looking with a kind of engaging look. Samantha, a teen girl, medium height, cropped, slightly curly stylish hair. And Amanda, the kid's friend, a teen, well-proportioned with a fullish belly, with straight, mid-length dark hair. Josh. "I'm really worried. He never goes out that long." Samantha. "Maybe he snuck away to see Elena." Amanda. "I don't think my grandmother'd be into surprise visits. Plus, it's dangerous for him to be showing up there like that." Samantha and Josh, almost simultaneous. "Dangerous." Samantha. "Let's go." Josh. "We gotta check it out." "Wait a minute. Maybe he doesn't want to be disturbed and that's why his phone is off." Samantha. "Yeah, but we can't take that chance." Amanda. "Maybe they planned a secret rendezvous." Josh. "He wouldn't leave me like that. He'd at least tell me he's got to do something. I don't think he'd just leave and be gone that long just like that." Samantha. "It's just not like him." Samantha. "Let's go. Come on, man. He'll keep us safe." Amanda. "What if they're not there?" Samantha. "Well, he's not answering any of our phone calls." Giselle. "Hold on a second. I don't like the idea of you going to some place you don't know that's dangerous. That's all we need. More people missing. Stay put." Samantha. "Amanda knows the place." Giselle. "That's okay. We can call the police." Joey, the father and husband, who has a medium sturdy build, work gut, beer belly, and graying buzz cut, suddenly enters looking really upset. They all look at him with curiosity and heaviness. Joey. "Dad was murdered. They found him in the supermarket. They caught the gunman, thank God." The entire room is completely frozen as every person tries to take in what none of them can. Samantha. "What?" Giselle gives Joey a big hug. Giselle. "I'm so sorry, honey. Wow. I can't believe such a peaceful and loving man that would happen to." Samantha. "What kind of a person would do a thing like that?" Joey. A person with a very sick mind. I'd like to beat the crap out of whoever did that, and then fight for the death penalty. Giselle, I don't think they have that in California. Samantha, hey, you probably know Josh. Josh, in pain. No, actually, I don't. But Grandpa would have definitely known. The pain of loss is felt all around. Samantha, wait a minute. We could Google it. Why didn't I think of that? Giselle, why didn't anybody think of that? Samantha, typing slowly as she reads. Do they have the death penalty in California? Waits, then reads. Should prosecutors ultimately seek capital punishment, it would be a rare step in California. Joey, well, this is that rare step. Samantha, looking up, continuing. Where the death penalty remains legal, but executions have effectively been paused for years. The state last carried out an execution in 2006. A sadness envelops the room as they sit or stand, taking in Mike's absence. Samantha, I guess that means we're all going to have to study harder. Oh, I'm so upset. Giselle, that's only natural, honey. It means you're human. She notices the pain of the children. Giselle, come here. She reaches her hands to the children and pulls them into a hug. Even Amanda. Samantha, through tears. Thanks, Ma. Amanda grabs Josh, who's really hurting, silently, and hugs him. Joey, hey, no cavorting. Amanda, I was just trying to comfort him. He looks really upset. Joey, never mind. That's for his mother and sister to do. Samantha grabs Josh and hugs him and holds him. Samantha, that's all right, Amanda. I'll comfort him. Josh, who is really out of sorts, leans into his sister's comfort. Samantha, I'll never forget, bro, how when I really needed you, you held me and it really brought me back. Josh, but it's not going to bring Grandpa back. He's gone. Forever. He breaks down, which sets Samantha in her tears. Amanda joins in to help. Joey, hey kid, now you know what it feels like to lose a grandpa. I'll never forget the day I lost mine. He was like a father to me, my grandpa in Astoria, Queens. Giselle, shifting eyes upward. Here we go again. Joey, he was in the hospital. We kept hoping every day he'd come home. He held on as long as he could. He said, kid, take care of the restaurant. I'm leaving it in your hands. Tears up, rare for him. But I had no idea how to run a restaurant. I mean, it was great when he was there, but without him there was nothing. And I saw that there was nobody. Without him there was nobody. And I saw the place close down. And they put the for sale signs up. That's when I said I had enough. I told Ma I was coming back home. Maybe that was selfish, but California was my home, the place where I had grown up. But I still ached. I felt I was leaving a part of myself behind with Grandpa. Maybe that's how it should be. When we lose someone, we lose a part of ourselves, and nothing's going to bring it back. It's over. It's gone. Josh softens a bit, and his teary eyes open toward Joey. Josh, wow, Dad, that's the first time I ever heard you talk like that. Thank you. Joey, I know it because I've been through it. I just had to pick myself up and build a new life. And now we have to go through it again, but at least we have each other. We're not alone. I was alone. Josh, wasn't there Grandma? Joey, she had moved upstate and was working at an animal hospital, but that wasn't the life for me. Internal, the house, living room, day. Joey is greeting a memorial official who is entering the house, dressed formally in suit and tie. Joey, come right this way, Mr. Beans. Joey puts his hand behind, quote, Mr. Beans, unquote, back with his other hand outstretched into the room to guide him in. Mr. Beans, who's really Sanborn. Sorry to correct you, but it's Sanborn. Joey, embarrassed. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Sanborn, shaking his hand. He points toward the smaller chair for his guest, but Mr. Sanborn naturally starts to sit in the larger chair with the sag. Joey. Oh, but not in this chair, Mr. Sanborn. That's my comfort chair for times of distress. Samantha. Like every day, Joey. All right, every day then. It's a stressful coming home from a stressful day at the office. You'll see. Giselle shoots a look toward Joey. Giselle shoots Joey a knowing smile, like she's on to him. Mr. Sanborn. That's okay. Everybody has a favorite chair. There's nothing wrong with it. Joey, pointing to Sanborn, while addressing family. I like this guy. He's got a good way about him. Giselle. Okay, Joey. Mr. Sanborn, can I get you anything? Mr. Sanborn. I can go for a glass of water. Joey. Oh, that's a great idea. Bring us 2 glasses. You want a beer, Mr. Sanborn? Mr. Sanborn. Oh, no. No, thank you. But thank you. Joey, looking at Giselle. 2 waters, 1 beer, thank you. Giselle. Yes, master. Giselle goes smiling, a knowing smile, while Joey gives her a look of unappreciation. Mr. Sanborn opens up a packet and starts to go through it. Mr. Sanborn. Now it's my understanding that the deceased requested a cremation. Will you be keeping the urn here at home, or do you want an internment? Joey. That'll cost me more, I'm sure. Giselle returning with the drinks. Oh, Joey, get the internment. That's how my father was buried. Joey looks at her with disapproval. Joey, well, I want my father right here on the mantle. That's the way people are remembering their loved ones nowadays. Giselle looks upward with a smile, suggesting, okay, fine, we'll do it your way, as she puts the drinks in their respective places. Giselle, it was just an idea. Joey, because that's how your family did it. Giselle, all right, fine. Far be it from me, he's your father, far be it from me to intervene. Samantha, I kind of like the idea of having Grandpa nearby. Giselle, myth, softening to supportive. Okay, Samantha, you're right. Joey, what about me being right? How come you gave it to her? Giselle, Joey, what difference does it make? You both want the same thing, and you're both bloods, so fine. Josh, while Amanda is holding his back, soft to her. I wish they wouldn't argue. Amanda, I don't know my grandfather. Josh, but you know your grandmother. Amanda, oh my God, she's going to be real upset. Josh, after just one date? Amanda, the way she was talking about it, I can tell. Internal memorial home, outer hall day. The hall is decked with sunlight and many arrangements of flowers, truly befitting an atmosphere of love and warmth. People are flocking in, many of them students, some of them professors. There is a big line behind the guest book. Refreshments and snacks fill the area. Attendant, we're going to be starting very soon if you'd like to go in. There'll be plenty of time to sign the book afterward. Quite a few guests, especially toward the back of the line, head inside to a darker but still lit area that has no daylight except what comes through the entrance. Internal memorial home, inner auditorium, day. As noted, it is darker and lots of people are there, including the family members we have already met. Joey, dressed in suit and tie, is in the front row, along with the rest of the family. The officiant walks to the podium. Officiant. At the request of family members, particularly the deceased himself, this memorial will consist of people sharing their recollections about Mr. Stivic. First is Dwayne Smorland, a student of Mr. Stivic's. A young man dressed in a blue shirt, a tie, and a nice sport jacket over pants of a different dark shade, comes forward. Dwayne looks forward and out nervously. Hello, my condolences to the Stivics. I know this must be a hard time for you. Pauses. I think if there's anything that describes the kind of person that Mr. Professor Stivic was, it was his devotion. Devotion to the students and devotion to what he was teaching. He didn't stand there. He didn't stand there like it was the job he had to do, but he'd rather be somewhere else. He was so into the things he said in the classroom that it just made you want to get into it too. My grades really went up from the time in his class. Because of him, I got into things I never would have found interesting. That is the mark of a great educator. I heard that the average grade of a student in his class was higher than average, not because he favored his students, but because he captivated us with his own interest in the work, and he cared about us propelling ahead and doing better, doing the best we could. Thank you, Mr. Stivic. We owe you everything we are. He steps down to the audience. The officiant follows in his place. Officiant: thank you, Dwayne, for sharing that. Next, we have a colleague of Michael's who has agreed to share a few words about his experience with him. Let's welcome Professor Sergey Adanovich. A man in his 60s steps up to speak. Sergey: thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of my good friend Michael Stivic. We spent a lot of years at UC Irvine together, some of them challenging, but most of them very rewarding. I had a lot of respect for Michael because he was a man of high standards who respected the education process. He never tried to cut corners. He never shortchanged a student because it was more convenient. And by never shortchanged, let me give you an example. If a student needed a correction, Michael was always honest with the student, no matter how well connected the student was. This sometimes got him in trouble if a student had connections, but he never compromised with the truth. He always explained to his students that he was doing them a great service by not just passing them so they'd get a good grade. He took the time to explain what it was they needed to pay attention to in their work. And he was never afraid to admit he was wrong if he was, or if he wasn't sure about something, because social science is a very open profession, and our understanding of the human condition is always changing as we learn new things and come to new realizations. I also found Mike to be a wonderful friend. The connections we made with the students, beyond just the classroom, stemmed from the good feeling you had around him. We would often go out for dinner, and Mike didn't hesitate to offer to pay for those who were strapped. As Dwayne said, his conviction captivated those who were around him. I don't know any other way to say this than he will really be missed. With a serious, almost grieving expression, the professor returns to his seat, and the officiant returns. Now we will have words from family members, starting with Professor Stivic's son, Joseph Stivic. Joey steps up. Joey: thank you for giving me the chance to speak before you all. I am wearing this suit and tie because I am the head of the family now, and I feel I should carry myself with dignity and respect. Pops never went for this high fashion, and so it's probably not in character. I mean, definitely I, as a mechanic, don't go around wearing it, but I'm doing it out of respect. Respect for my son and respect for the occasion, because that's how I was brought up. I want to talk about something else I learned from Pops. He taught me never to resort to blows, that it was evil to fight. Now, Pops and I never agreed about anything. He was a liberal who voted for Obama. I am a conservative who voted 3 times for the great Donald Trump. The hall is painfully quiet. Joey: but no matter how we were at loggerheads over practically everything, we never came to blows. That was one thing I learned from both my father and my grandfather, who was also, like me, a conservative. We were brought up on treating people with respect. Pauses. Respect. Pauses again. Standing in the back of the hall near the entrance is Amanda's grandmother, Elena, a well-dressed Mexican-American woman in her 70s, looking younger. Joey: what happened to all that respect? You see people blowing each other up, shooting off guns in public places, and killing people they never met. Brothers, fathers, sons, people killing their own family members. Who could ever be that sick? I am a conservative. My father was a liberal, but one thing the conservative movement taught me is to treat everyone with respect, to live with values, to get a job and earn a living, to keep a clean house, to be straight with your kids, but always to love them, always to love them. I almost beat my son one time, but I'm proud to say I never hit my son. He had to be restricted because he was too smart for his age, but never with violence. And now my son is coming along. He has really grown. And that's thanks to Dad. He spent hours every day with Josh, not just to educate him, but to share with him life lessons, to be his buddy. Pops, you left us too soon. Almost breaks into tears, but doesn't. An elderly blonde woman with a full body and a kind of gleam in her eyes steps in. She is Gloria, Mike's ex from long ago, and Joey's mom. She and Elena, who is standing near the door, notice each other and greet and smile at each other. They both stand near each other. Joey, my father came from a better time. A time when people were brought up to live right. A time when you had to work for every dollar you earned. My father worked hard in the field of education and brought forth so many noble students ready to take on the challenges of the world. I too have worked all my adult life. There was never a chance to slacken or sit back. And that is the America I'm fighting every day to make great again. The America of my father. Shooting a man in cold blood is not making America great again. Standing up for decency and family is how I will make America great again. Because it's the only way. And I am ready to go head to head with anyone who has the nerve to challenge me on that. Thank you. He starts to move, to leave the podium, as applause ripples, then breaks out in the room. As he moves toward his seat, Gloria goes up to him and greets him. Joey, soft only to her. Mom, you came. I didn't think you were going to come. Gloria, I had to come, Joey, for you and the kids. Joey, and to say goodbye. Gloria, showing slight embarrassment. Yeah, I guess so. We spent a good 15 years together. Officiant from a little further away. Would anyone else like to share some words about Michael Stivic? Samantha, I would. Gloria, sitting next to Joey, smiles at Samantha, who has noticed she is there. Samantha gets up to speak. Samantha, with a warm smile. Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. We're all very touched. More embarrassed. Hi, Grandma. Gloria, also embarrassed, smiles back. Samantha, the person who really knew and spent a lot of time with Grandpa was my brother, or I should say, is my brother, Josh. He's hurting really bad. He didn't just lose a grandpa. He lost a companion who spent so many hours with him, teaching him about life while preparing him to pass his GEDs. Don't get the wrong idea about Josh. He is a genius, like my father said, perhaps a little too good, a little too much of a genius for his own good. But Grandpa was someone we loved to have around. Maybe we didn't say it that much to him. We gave him a hard time. He really cared about us. He could keep a secret. We always trusted him. He was someone you could talk to about anything. He might not know everything you were talking about, but he listened to you and respected you. And it's true what my dad said. He would argue his politics, and my dad would argue his politics, until it drove us all crazy. And I kind of leaned the way my grandfather did politically. It helped me when I got into fights with Dad. We're all really gonna miss him. He was such a support. I'm gonna miss you, Grandpa. Applause envelops the room as she moves back to where her grandmother is sitting. People smile at her and give her thumbs up. Samantha. Hi, Grandma. Gloria. Hi, my beautiful little girl. So great to see you. Samantha. I'm glad you came. We've got to hang out later. Gloria. Oh, that would be wonderful, honey. Officiant. Thank you very much, Samantha. Would anyone else like to say anything about Mr. Stivic? Or excuse me, Professor Stivic? Elena from the doorway, raising her hand. I would. Officiant. Come right up, Ms. Elena, taking her place. Goncalves. But you can call me Elena. Pauses. I only knew Mike for one night, but it was a night I'll never forget. He took me to a Mexican place so I would feel comfortable. I told him it didn't matter, but I do love the feeling at Amor y Tequila. The name says it all, but there was so much more. He was a really nice man, and he loved the food, which was all new to him. You see, I picked out all the best dishes that I liked, and he liked them too. I could see he hadn't been with a woman in a long time. I was glad to make our night special for him. And to tell the truth, it was a long time for me too. And he was a sport about it. We went out after that to a dancing club, and he could dance. I was so surprised. It was a night of sheer magic. So naturally, it's hard to know this can never happen again. But at least I will have a memory I will cherish. This was the kind of man Mike was. I am really sorry and sad for your loss. Thank you for allowing me to spend some time with him. She steps away to applause, less than before. The officiant returns to the podium. Officiant. I want to thank everybody who shared something. We got to see the many different sides of Mike. It is clear that he was a man with a deep, caring heart. I know it is tragic to have to part with him this way. Although he was already 78, his life was still cut short brutally and so suddenly. So I'd like to add my condolences to the family. I know the time to come is not going to be easy in the short term at least. You put your life together, but what's missing will never come back. That finality is piercing. And because of the love I see among you, you'll get through it. One day that pain will turn into a treasured memory, an honor of having known such a person, as you see that you all carry him with you, so he's still alive, through each of you. And you will feel so glad that he's a part of you. Thank you all. Fade out. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. I am really sorry that I had trouble reading this. My good glasses broke, so I'm using the previous pair, and it's really difficult to see the words on the page. They're newly written. I know I didn't give it the kind of flair and inflection that this deserves, but I want to thank everybody for allowing me to spend these 32 minutes with you, sharing that very difficult episode. The one after that's not going to be easy either. I pretty much have to rewrite this whole series from scratch, as I explained at the beginning. But we deal with life's tragedies, and they can't erase what happened, but we also must not let them erase what happened before. Because I know a lot of people who might be listening to this are grieving the passing of somebody that they love very much. And I think this is an appropriate way to begin 2026. So maybe this can be a year that we change and convert to nonviolence. That's why I'm writing this series, so that we can become better people and live in a better world. Thank you very much.